What's up, guys? Tar Heel Will here again. But today we're going to talk about the disappointing season that UNC had. As by now, we all know we didn't make the tournament. I know a lot of us were sitting there having hopes that we would squeak into the tournament. I even had a little bit of hope, but the hope was only that we would get put into the tournament because we're North Carolina and really has nothing to do with anything we did on the season. Because we all had, as we know, a bad season from the start. So last year, we made our run, made it to the Final Four, made it to the championship game, was winning at half, went into the locker room, and really haven't came out the same since. We definitely had moments where we looked like we were going to start playing, but we never really meshed. I don't think we ever played together, so there was always some cloud hanging over. A lot of people would say the NIL thing or whatever is why. Who knows? I don't think that would, for me, that wouldn't cause a problem in the way I'm looking at it, and I could be wrong, because if you're getting paid X amount of dollars, and a lot of dollars for some of these student athletes, why wouldn't you want to go in and play well to get more money and keep your deals? Because that's why I feel like the deal should be worked out, that if you don't do things, we can release you. And of course, if you're not a great player anymore, they can get rid of you. Because if you're like Baycock, that can come back for next year, and his number was up there, how much he's making, he can come back next year and make just about the same as he would if he went into the draft, pretty much, and get to play more and be a star and maybe win a championship. Why would you not want to stay in college and be able to do that thing and make a lot of money living in college? Because I know if I had money like that when I was in college, some of the things I stressed about, I wouldn't stress anymore. It would be a little bit easier. So I don't see it causing a problem, but it may cause a problem. But so we finished the season by losing last year, but we still had high hopes because of everybody coming back, which we all probably knew they were all coming back anyway. But this year, it's a different story. We started out preseason number 1, which, in my opinion, I never liked being in the top 10 starting out. I wish they wouldn't do the rankings or preseason rankings. I wish they wouldn't even rank until a month or so in, and some may say don't start ranking until conference play, which that's a stretch. But I don't really like preseason. I'd rather be 10 or below, top 10, okay, but not in the top 5 for sure. Because I don't know. I feel like if you're not, you have something to play for. If you are, you kind of slack a little bit, which looks like we did. Our final record, I think, was 20-13. We were 11-9 in conference, 12-3 at home. It's not bad at home. At 4-7 away, and we were 4-3 in a neutral site. So we were 0.550% winning percentage. It's a little bit more than half our games, I guess you can say. It wasn't a good season to be a Tar Heel fan. They didn't play together. They would have spurts. They would have games, and they would have a game that RJ went off. They would have a game that Leaky went off, Nance, Armando, but never together. We took unnecessary shots. A lot of people want to blame it on Davis for not pulling the starters earlier, try to teach a lesson. Personally, I do wish he would have played some of the younger guys to get them on the court, especially towards the end of the season when you saw some players not playing up to par. There were some times I felt like Caleb Love should have been taken out, but I'm not the coach. I coach basketball myself. I coach 8th grade basketball. I've coached a lot of age groups, and I'm not judging or saying anything about the coach's decision, especially at a college level at a school like UNC. because I'm not coaching UNC, and I wouldn't even get a chance to even look at the job with what I do. So I'm just speaking, just outside looking in, maybe what I would have done, but sometimes you have that player that you don't feel like you can do that with, and others see differently. So maybe that's the case. But there was times Caleb took a lot of shots and kept shooting when he should have probably stopped. And I know the saying shoot or shoot, and I get it. And sometimes it takes that one shot to go in for you to take off, but he didn't make some good decisions. But one thing that I wish would stop is because on the message boards and Facebook pages and things that I'm on, there's a lot of talk about Caleb, and people are going to his Instagram, like grown adults are going to his Instagram, his social media, and blasting him and talking bad about him and whatever, whatnot. Guys, this guy's still a 19, 20-year-old kid in college playing a sport at a high level that he loves, that he's most likely going to make it to the league one day, or he's going to play at a different level than this. So we should not be, as adults, grown adults, reaching out to kids on their social media and talking junk to them and bashing them. Like, that's for the birds. Like, I can sit here and talk about the game and we play terrible, blah, 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 blah. But in the end, it's a sport. It's a game that we all love and we love to watch. And some of us played it, some of us coach it, some of us play coach. Whatever part we have in basketball in our life, we love the sport. And sitting there talking about a player or two or whoever and sending messages, that's not – first of all, you shouldn't be a fan. You should just stop watching basketball and go do something else, because you're going to have ups and downs. You're going to have good seasons, bad seasons. You're going to have things that were unexpected like this year. Like, I definitely didn't expect that we would not make the tournament. I made a bet at the end of last year that we would win the championship this year, and I gave the guy the whole field. And, of course, I lost. But I made the same bet for next year, by the way. So I'm still pulling from my heels. I still feel like we got I think Hubert is the coach. I think he's the one. Second year. Like, you can't get mad. But if you think about it, we played like who we are. And I know I've mentioned this in my other videos, but we played exactly who we are. Like, if you think about it, go back to Roy Williams. This is the group that he retired under. Then Hubert came in. Well, Davis came in, played great, had up and down, got hot, made it to the finals. Great. We got hot. Let's be real. Let's all be real about it. We got hot at the right time, and we won the games that we had to. I loved every minute of it. Every minute of it. But I also was a realist in that situation and knew that we were not the team that year. I think I had us in my brackets, which I usually pick them to go to championship almost every year. I think I had them getting knocked out in the second round, maybe. I'm pretty sure that's what I had. So, and they shocked me, and that's great, and I love it, but they are who we thought they were. So, they played exactly like that. You take away them getting hot at the end, we're the same team for the past 3 years, with the three players being Davis, pretty much, Caleb Love, and Armando Bacot. So, hopefully we can get past that. I don't know who's coming back. I don't know who's leaving. But honestly, it wouldn't surprise me one bit if Caleb Love is gone. He did, from what I've been reading up and seeing, and I actually checked for myself, he went and has taken off everything UNC on his Instagram page. So that's probably a sign saying he's out. I also heard rumors that there was some type of meeting, things like this, that Caleb Love and a couple other players got kicked off the team. Was probably not any truth to that. I don't see how that can happen. But I also heard rumors, right now it's a lot of up in the air. But I also heard rumors that RJ was coming back or Bacot's coming back 100%, and Caleb Love is transferred because apparently a lot of players said if Caleb comes back, they're leaving, things like that. So I think Caleb's probably out, in my opinion. He may stay. They may all stay and come back and do next year what we thought they were going to do this year. maybe not. But I think, realistically, I think Caleb takes off and goes somewhere else. Maybe back towards his home, some school near that way, St. Louis area. I think that's where he's from. So maybe I like Caleb. I just thought he made bad shot decisions. If he came back next year, I'd be fine with it. I'm not one to say get out of here, because we all have bad days. We have bad years. We have bad weeks. So it is what it is. He's, again, 19, 20-year-old kid. But realistically, he's probably gone with all the hate he's been receiving. I think Baycock stays for his 5th year. Davis stays too, which I never really was considering Davis being a big threat to leave, because he's a small guard. He played good, and he's probably going to get drafted one day, maybe, with his size. But I think he's a dime a dozen with guards his size. So that's just my opinion. So I figured he was coming back anyway. I figured Darjay's a 4-year player. We got a girl recruiting class coming in next year and the year after, so I think we're good. These guys are not Roy's or Hubert Davis's recruits. These are Roy's. So just like Roy, well, he ended up winning a championship with the ones he inherited. But he had to have his times too where he failed, because, just like any coach. Hubert Davis, this is his first time coaching. That was Roy's second stint with the college. This is Hubert Davis's first. You got to give him some credit. I mean, it's his 2nd year. He's got a lot of things going on. There's things he's changing, things that people were recruited by Roy that may not like the way Davis does it. So there's a lot of things going on. So I wouldn't put this all on Hubert Davis. Like I mentioned earlier in other podcasts or YouTube videos, I think I would call it like a 60-40 trade. And I would more or less say 60 players, 60% the players, and 40% Davis. Now, after next year, if we have some similar things happening, then maybe that's going to switch. And I think Davis is at least going to get 2 more seasons. I think if he doesn't make the tournament next year, I think then after that he's going to be on the chopping block, in my opinion. He may be gone after that. I know a lot of people are screaming Stackhouse. Let's just chill for a little bit. Let's Stackhouse. Even though he won Coach of the Year, I think today they announced it, Coach of the Year for SEC. He did good with Vanderbilt. They knocked off Kentucky. But let's just chill for a second. This world today is all about give me now, give me now. No one wants to build things. It's all about I want to win now. I got to win now. Instant gratification. No one wants to ever work or build or anything like that. I like the building process, to see them. Look at Tyler. See what happened with him. 4-year player, never had any problems, and he got better each year. That's what you want to do. Tyler Hansbrough. I mean, there's been plenty of UNC players that were developed. Joel Berry, Marcus Page. There's a lot of players that, in my opinion, your opinion, that probably wouldn't have done well any other place, but they did well in the UNC system with Roy. So I think they're going to be fine with moving forward. Let's see. What have we learned? Not all teams are the same. Even if you got the same players, they're not all the same. Each season's different. You got different emotions. You got different things going on. Everything's different. Now that money's being thrown out there, that may be, like I said in the video earlier, that may be an issue. I don't see it, but maybe people are upset about someone else making more money than them. I don't know. If that's the case, give everybody the same amount, if that's what you're going to do. Okay, I think maybe they had too much pressure. Too much pressure on these young kids to go out there and win a championship. Not everybody is built to have that pressure that you're going to win a championship and everybody knows it and everybody's watching you. There's a lot of pressure to have every game to go in there when every team is coming in and swinging their hardest at you and trying to knock you out. Day in, day out. It's just part of it. So there's a lot of pressure. I mean, I know I have a lot of pressure on me doing things too, so I know I'd probably crack also. the transfer portal isn't always guaranteed. It doesn't mean you're always going to get a Brady Manick that comes off the bench after Garcia transferred out or left for his reasoning and went back home or whatever. If that would have never happened, you would have never known about Brady Manick. So let's not act like that's going to be something that happens every year we get this great player. Unless they're a top recruit anyway, then you can expect it. But if it's just somebody transferring, like Pete Nance, we had no idea what he was going to give us. I, for one, thought he was going to come in and be great for us, and he was decent. I mean, he had a lot of games he was bad, but the transfer portal is not always guaranteed. And we have watched our last UNC game for the season. Being March Madness, I know a lot of y'all and me, this is my favorite time of the year. It's always great when you've got North Carolina in the tournament, making a run for it, putting us on our seats. But this year, we don't get to keep it. But you know what? To be honest, if you would have asked me before last year if I could have choice A or choice B, and choice A was let UNC beat Duke in their final game in Cameron and then knock them out and play Duke again in the Final Four and retire Coach K, or go to that and then then go to the NIT, don't even make the NIT the next year, or this year win a championship, I think I would go with column A all day long. I still would go with that. I think I can deal without having a championship this year, knowing we knocked Coach K out and we beat them home. Like, that's something you'll never be able to come back from. Well, not never. We'd have to meet in the Final Four again. You would have to beat us and you win the championship. That's the only way you can kind of one-up us in that situation. John Shire did great this year as a rookie coach. I'm not going to knock him. I'm going to knock the team with 4 freshman starters and Jeremy Roach. He did good. He coached them. He's got them guys playing. But these guys may be leaving. He may be losing that whole starting 5 next year. Who knows? Because I think 3 or 4 of those guys are projected to be in a lottery pick, I think, or somewhere around there. So Philip Howski's probably gone. I'm kind of glad because he reminds me a lot of Tyler Hansbrough, and I do not want to have to watch another player like Tyler Hansbrough and be on the other side of that rivalry with playing against him. I don't want to do that. That's too much stress for me. But other than that, I think that's my thoughts on the very disappointing season. It's just what it is. But you know what? We all move forward. We'll all be back next year. And we'll be back at it. We'll be back in the Final Four, possibly a championship, fairly soon. Okay? Everybody chill out. Because these message boards are going crazy right now with Duke and North Carolina fans. Right now, Duke, worry about yourself. Worry about your tournament. You got Oral Roberts starting off. I think that's going to be a good matchup. Still think I see Duke making it. I see Duke at least making it past the first 2 rounds, possibly. A lot of people may have them in the Final Four. I haven't filled out a bracket yet, so I'm not sure what I want to do. So, not really sure. I probably honestly won't fill my bracket out till tomorrow. But, everyone like and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time.